I fixed it.
Today on Pinball Workshop, we're going to get back into Jurassic Park. Now, as you saw at the top of the video, I can now get rid of all this broken wood and replace it with this. So that's one key piece that we'll do, get this piece ready with the new plastic, get it mounted, and so I'll have one less thing to think about. But today, we're going to get into a lot more than just replacing a piece of wood. In fact, we're going to get into one of the harder things that you can do in a pinball restoration. No, I'm not talking about dropping the playfield and having to fix everything when it comes off the rotisserie. It's getting into mylar removal. So one thing that you'll kind of find and you'll read out there in pinball forums is, what is mylar? Is it bad? And should you remove it? There's going to be a lot of questions about that. And you'll see down in the description below, there is a gentleman on the Pinside Pinball Forum named Vid1900, who is the master of a lot of different user guides. In fact, a lot of things that I'm sharing with today through video form are things that I've learned from him by reading his forum posts as well. So definitely always feel free to go check him out. He is by far one of the best people in the on the community who shares how to do things appropriately. But today, what we're going to talk about is mylar removal. Now, one thing that I have seen is that I've had 5 or 6 different pinball machines that have had some level of a full mylar solution put on them. And what mylar is a plastic film that is actually has an adhesive on it that goes on top of your playfield. Sometimes you'll find it in just little tiny spots. Sometimes you'll find it across the entire playfield. But usually you'll find it, from really, even from the late 70s all the way up to just about maybe the early to mid 90s when they start moving to more of an automotive clear coat coming from the factory from Stern and when Bally and Williams was still making machines. They really kind of moved away from mylar. Mylar was also applied by coin operators out there as they purchased machines to basically protect their investment and protect the overall wear from the machine. So when you start to look to purchase machines or trade machines, mylar is something that you may have to deal with. And there's some points where mylar is just kind of there. And, when it comes to the removal process, you have to start figuring out, is this something that you want to take on? So, for example, you've seen that Silver Ball Mania sitting down in my workshop for a while. That's something that has a full piece of mylar that's been put on, and it's been there for a while, back when potentially the machine was first put on route. Now, I can tell you that type of mylar is something that has really settled in for a long period of time, and from other people who have posted online, removing mylar from older Williams, Gottlieb, Bally machines can really lift and remove paint. As you move forward in time, you see a little less of that, especially when you got into like the Data East, as we mess with our Jurassic Park, where mylar removal is not as serious of an operation that it would be on other machines. So when we start talking about mylar removal, you really need to take an understanding of what your current machine is and how you're able to what that process looks like. And also you have to understand and plan for the worst case scenario. And that worst case scenario is what happens if I remove my mylar and half my playfield paint or artwork comes with it? How do I get around that? So in the case for Jurassic Park, I'm fairly confident that we'll be able to remove the mylar pretty quickly. It seems like for many Jurassic Park machines that have had mylar placed on them, usually there could be a little bit of a paint loss, but for the most part, it usually comes up pretty easily. However, this is something that I do not look forward to every time. And not only just removing the mylar, but also the adhesive that gets left over as well. Now, what you'll see me do here in a couple of minutes is I'm going to get a bottle of compressed air, shake it up, and then turn that bottle upside down. And that freeze spray, as you'll see it mentioned online, is really what does the job in terms of actually freezing the adhesive and the mylar and separating those so that you can remove the mylar plastic and just leave the adhesive left. So that's what we're going to attempt to do today. this is either going to be a really great video that will go very, very quickly, or there will be a lot of cursing that I'll have to edit out later. So let's go ahead and get started. So I've already started removing the mylar. The scariest portion of what I was going to do as part of my playfield restoration shop out. I'm using regular duster upside down and a plastic razor blade in order to get the mylar off. Getting the mylar off is the first part of this. Once the mylar is off, it's then getting the glue off. But I want to start the mylar first because that's the piece that's got me the most concerned. The possibilities I could risk damaging the playfield artwork and pull up some of the insert plastic as well. So here I go. Wish me luck. And there is one piece of mylar off the machine. Ooh, that's cold. Oh no, I'm out of duster. And there we go. Second piece of mylar off the machine, off the playfield, excuse me. Looks really good. I'm very, very happy with this turnout. As you can see, really no artwork came off. Still obviously very sticky. We haven't taken care of the glue problem. But really, really happy this came off. I was not a fan of this on the machine. Nice win for me tonight. The glue is a more arduous journey, and that'll be the thing that I'll end up doing after this. But step one, mylar removal, in this case for me, 100% success. So that's what I would call about as successful as I ever imagined. So here is the mylar from the Jurassic Park playfield. Now, the one thing you can see is the level of cloudiness, as I put my face over here, the level of cloudiness that was in the mylar. And this is probably the major reason why most folks remove mylar, is that over time, specific mylars will get very cloudy just from ball travel, which is good, it's what it's supposed to do. but also the mylar will yellow over time as well. As you can see, this one has had a little bit of both. Now, one question that, you may read as well is that, is mylar bad? And what you'll find is that that question can really be answered a couple of different ways. For one, mylar, in this case, is doing exactly what it's supposed to do. It's protecting the playfield artwork from wear, from the ball travel. But other cases, you kind of have to take the good with the bad. And that leads us to what options are better. And that's why, for the majority of times, people have moved away from using mylar. And that gets into doing clear coating. Now, to do clear coating, you'll find a variety of different products that are out there. And that's a whole other video for another time. But the most common type of clear coating that you'll find is what we call two-part automotive clear, or two-pack, as you'll see as an acronym out there as well. Now, in order to have that type of setup, which I do not have here today, and I do not plan at the moment of taking on as a new task, that's something that really takes a high level of not only skill, but also time and labor to complete. So now that I've removed the mylar from Jurassic Park, I now have to think about how do I protect the playfield now that I've just removed all the protection from it. So that'll be a story that I'll have to kind of understand how I want to move forward. And I'll have some potential options on how I want to do that probably in the next video. Now, last time I did tease that we're going to be covering ultrasonic cleaners, and I had planning on doing that. We're going to be taking a little bit of a break from the Jurassic Park playfield shop out as I've got to do some travel for work, which causes me to be out of the country for a couple weeks. So I'll have to be, I'm going to get some tech and tool videos up to date on the website on YouTube, on the Mondays and Thursdays. And when I get back from being out of the country, I'll come back and tackle this. And hopefully during that time, I'll have a good answer how I'm going to be able to handle how do I protect my newly unprotected Jurassic Park playfield. So for next time, this has been the Pinball Workshop. We'll see you later.